rock. I walk away from a southwest room. Windless night, moonlight melts. My ghost race should go to the rock farm room. Make free dance of fleeting sword. Reminds me that I still live. I will. I was wide away from the gallery. I trailed me to this fire. I'll be bringing chain you rock till I see the sunlight again. I left my place and ran through the sunlight.
And welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3, kicking things off in Persona 3 Reload this time, and we'll likely be doing that in most of the videos, but I'll mix it up every now and again. Figured I should show off the original opening animation to this game featured in the PS2 version, vanilla release. I do think Full Moon Full Life is a pretty good song, but I've always thought Burn My Dread fits the tone of Persona 3 much better, and well, the actual art in the animated cutscenes of Persona 3 on PS2 are definitely a little rough. They are stylized as hell, and I do love the aesthetics of them, if nothing else. Over here, I just want to take a quick look at the dorm register, or the sign-in sheet. As you can see, it is just flavor text in this version, something of an artifact, and a callback for the people who have played the older versions of the game. Before we scoot off to bed, let's talk to Mitsuru and Yukari a bit. It's dangerous to go out on your own at night, so take this. Now, she says, please refrain from doing so. Besides, you must be tired after today. You should make sure to get a good night's rest. In Persona 3 Reload, whenever you've exhausted all unique dialogue from a character, the speech bubbles on their head will be blanked out, so you have an immediate way to know if they have anything new to say. A nice little quality of life feature the original versions of this game did not feature.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, hi, what are you doing? Oh, you know, just looking around. Well, there's not much to see. You're probably pretty tired after your first day, huh? Maybe you should go to bed early. God, why do you guys keep telling me to go to bed? You're like a nagging cat. Get it? Get it? Over here are the bathrooms. Now, in the PS2 and PSP version of the game, the bathrooms actually served a function, though to my knowledge they don't really do anything in this version, they're just there for set dressing. With all that being said, let's return to our bed and let's crash for the night. We get an opportunity to look around our room, we can check our desk, which will have functionality in the future. It's the desk provided by the dorm. I should try to keep things tidy when I use it. But right now, we are just so eepy, so sleepy. We need to go to bed right away. One other thing that you can check out here is the calendar. The calendar hangs on the wall. No specific plans are written on it at the moment. If you check this in Persona 3 Portable, you actually can review the calendar right now. In Persona 3 Portable, you can check the calendar at your leisure at this point in the game, if you so desire. Nothing too important to note on it, though strangely, it has all the moon cycles going forward marked. Huh, I wonder what the deal is with that. Well, probably nothing. Probably nothing. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go to bed.
I'm going out for a bit. Have you seen the newspapers lately? There's a lot going on.
I know. Severe cases of apathy syndrome are suddenly developing in people who showed no symptoms prior. It's been quite a topic of discussion. They say it's due to stress, but...
Yeah, right. It's gotta be them. Otherwise, it's not worth my time.
You have a one-track mind. Will you be okay out there on your own?
Don't worry. I'm just getting a little practice.
This isn't a game, Akihiko.
And with that, we advance to the next day. Heading into school in the morning, we eavesdrop on some girls, because we're kind of a creep like that. I can hear people talking.
Have you heard?
Hey, have you heard the rumor about, what was it again? The bathroom?
Hold up.
That's old news. Besides, it's just a ghost story, not a rumor. You're talking about that one girl, right? The second year? She stopped coming to school and just sits around staring at walls all day long? Whenever her mom tries to talk to her, the only thing she says is, "It's coming. It's coming."
What?
Is that really how the story goes? Whatever. It's probably all made up anyway. Some disturbing rumors seem to be spreading around the school. Wonder if this has anything to do with what Aki... Ooh, I almost said something I probably shouldn't have, since we haven't been formally introduced to that character yet. But I wonder if it was what the confident student... or wait, did Mitsuda say his name at the end? Well, whatever. I don't pay enough attention. I was checking my phone. Bad habit of me. We're in class right now. I shouldn't be checking my phone. Open your textbooks, and we'll take a look at the first novel by Zenzo Kasai. Ugh, why him? I've been more interested in Tota Kaneko's work lately. His essays are fantastic, and he's also a famous haiku poet. I wonder why all this isn't in the textbook. Well, I guess I'll just bring his book next time. Speaking of haikus, they often use words or phrases related to seasons, but it's easy to get them mixed up. For example, you'd think tasty bamboo shoots and vivid carp streamers would symbolize spring, right? Well, they're actually related to summer. Haiku poets usually refer to seasons based on the lunar calendar, making it fairly complicated. Hey, Iori! Are you listening? Here's a question for you. Among these phrases, a rain of flowers, mystical mirage, and vivid carp streamers, which one symbolizes summer? What? Colin, you were listening, right? Lend a brother a hand. We'll help Junpei out. Fortunately, I was paying attention here. Not that it's really necessary for this first question, since I have a guide anyway, but, I actually do know the answer this time. When going about your day-to-day life, you will come across certain actions that require the use of one of these stats: academics, charm, and courage. Social stats can be raised by doing various things around the city, or by answering questions correctly in class. Keep an eye out for activities that might help you hone those skills. What phrase symbolizes summer? Now, it is obviously vivid carp streamers, and we do have to get this one correctly. Going into future questions, we'll actually have a little way to cheat in Persona 3 Reload, but in this one specific instance, we just have to know it, and we will answer like so.
Exactly.
Yep, that's right. So you were listening to me after all. By the way, Mystical Mirage and a Rain of Flowers represent spring. A mirage is a natural phenomenon that occurs around late March to early June, and a rain of flowers refers to spring showers around the time cherry blossoms bloom. It's not literally raining flowers. Hey, April showers bring May flowers and all that. We have our own versions of that in the good old US of A. Make sure you remember all that. Our next topic is... Well, you know how much I like to pay attention. Man, you seriously saved my bacon, Cullen. Aw, thank you for appreciating me, Junpei. He gave him the answer right now. He must have a good memory or something. I can hear my classmates whispering. I've become slightly more popular. And with that, we get our first stat increase. Stat increases come in increments of 2 in most cases, with one notable exception that I can recall offhand. So we just got 2 points of charm. That's what one music note symbolizes. If we got 2 music notes, we got 4 points. If we get 3 music notes, we got a whopping 6 points. Answering these questions will allow us to develop our charm in due time. Now, unlike the most recent release of Persona 5, none of these stats actually have any practical effect on gameplay abilities. These are purely stats that the game checks to see if you qualify to participate in certain events. You don't get any statistical or gameplay bonuses out of increasing them specifically. It just allows you to access new content. One exception in Persona 3 Portable, though, and we'll get to that when it becomes more relevant. Speaking of the questions are actually slightly different depending on the version of the game that you are playing. In Persona 3 Vanilla, there is its own set of questions. Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable share the same pool of questions. I'm not really going to go over the Persona Vanilla questions because they're not that interesting, and a lot of them are almost completely brain dead to answer. I'll point out some of the funnier ones if I can recall them. But what was the question asked in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable? Now, in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable, the question is somewhat similar. Open your textbooks and we'll take a look at the first novel by Zenzo Kasai. Ugh, why him? I'd rather teach about Utsubu Kubota. He became famous as a singer, but he also produced fine literature. I wonder why it's not in the textbook. Well, I'll just bring Kubota's book next time. Hey, Junpei, were you listening? Who did I say was my favorite author? Who's she like? Anyways, we were paying attention. We know that it is Utsubu Kubota. This question was had a different selection of offers available in Persona 3 Vanilla, but as I've been saying, this question is the same between FES and Persona 3 Portable. That's right! So you were listening to me after all. Well, you know how I like to pay attention. Man, you saved my bacon, Cullen. You hear your classmates whispering. Cullen gave him the answer. You must pay attention in class. You became slightly more popular. This is wildly inaccurate to my school experience. Anyways, while we're at it, I can mention that each social stat requires a set amount of points to get to the max rank, and Charm requires 100 points. Since we got 2 points for answering this question correctly, we are 1/50th of the way there without having to spend any effort on it. You know, aside from getting the question correct, which it was a bit of a freebie in this case. So, with that all being said, let's pop back over to Reload. With that taken care of, we're ready to head back to the dorm immediately. We're still in the section of the game where it doesn't allow us to have much agency over what we do every day. Huh. That guy in the track stands out a little bit. Who's Junpei talking to over there? The Iwatodai strip mall is bustling with activity in the afternoon. That guy Junpei's talking to looks familiar. Hey, I think we saw him by the bulletin board on the first day.
Oh, he's back.
So, this is our new guest. Good evening. My name is Shuji Ikutsuki. I'm the chairman of the board for your school. Ikutsuki. Hard to say, isn't it? That's why I don't like introducing myself. Even I get tongue-tied sometimes. Please, have a seat. I apologize for the confusion regarding your accommodations, but it may take a bit longer before you receive the proper room assignment. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
Well, I suppose I can participate a little bit. We could just blow him off, but why don't we ask a couple things here? Familiarize ourselves with the dorms, and learn a little bit about Mr. Ikutsuki himself.
To welcome you, of course. You don't mind, do you? Speaking of which, Takeba-kun, have you seen Kirijo-kun by any chance?
She's upstairs.
As diligent as always, but it couldn't hurt to come down and say hello. Is there anything else?
Well, now that you mention it, who else lives here?
There are only 4 students in this dorm. You, Takeba-kun here, Kirijo-kun, and a 3rd year named Akihiko Sanada-kun. I hope you all get along. Do you have another question?
And thus we get a name for the confident student, if Mitsuru didn't say. I'm pretty sure she said it at the end of the line, and I just wasn't paying attention when she said it. But, yes, Akihiko Sanada. Seems like a pretty chill and cool guy. Definitely motivated. Anyways, now that you mention it, the other night, could you perhaps elaborate on the coffins we saw?
You saw something strange? Like what? You were probably just tired. I wouldn't worry about it.
Something doesn't seem right. Something, sinister seems afoot.
Any other questions?
Nah, I'm good. One very minor and silly difference here, and silly in the sense that this was something that was a thing at all originally, is that when you ask Ikutsuki a question, it actually doesn't remove itself from the list. So you can just ask him the same stuff over and over again, and these conversations will endlessly repeat, ad infinitum, trapping you here forever until you say, no, I'm good.
Excellent. Here's to a wonderful school year. Now, if you'll excuse me. I'm sure you're worn out from all these formalities. You may want to consider going to bed early. As they say, the early bird catches the bookworm. Get it? Bookworm? Because you're students? Clever, isn't it?
You'll get used to his lame jokes. I guess I'll head back to my room too. Like the chairman said, you should get some rest. Transferring schools is a real pain when you're not used to it. Good night.
I can appreciate a good dad joke myself, but that was definitely in the lower echelon, like a 3 out of 10 I'd give him, if I was being really generous. I should listen to them and go rest in my room.
Hello there. So, how's he doing?
He went to bed a little while ago. He's currently fast asleep. Mr. Chairman, do you think he's...
Well, let's wait and see for now. The dark hour is approaching.
Come on, what do you say? I can't leave a pretty girl standing around in the cold like this.
What do you think, Mayumi? I mean, I'm cool with it, but if my parents found out...
They don't need to know. Just drop them a text. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
This sucks. I'm serious. I was scared shitless.
Nice story, though.
That was the Bayside Rockers, brought to you by KJ. And that's all for tonight, folks. Tune in again next week, same time, same place.
The program you just heard was sponsored by Kirito Electronics, bringing the future to you. The time is now 12 a.m.
Huh? What the? What's happening to me?
He's still sleeping. The dark hour occurs every day at 12 midnight. You could say it's the hidden hour. During this time, an ordinary person transmogrifies into a coffin and is oblivious to all that occurs.
Then he must be...
As you can see, he's retained his human form. He may be asleep, but he's definitely experiencing the dark hour. The only question that remains is whether or not he has the potential. Though, come to think of it, he must. If he didn't, they would have preyed on him by now.
Scary.
In any case, we should continue to monitor him for a few more days.
Yes, sir.
I feel kinda bad, though, spying on him like this.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. This is Elizabeth. She's a resident here, like myself.
Pleased to meet you.
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Only those who have signed the contract can enter this place.
That's the document I signed at the dorm.
From now on, you shall be welcome here as a guest in the Velvet Room. You were destined to hone your unique ability, and you will require my assistance to do so. I only ask one thing in return. Abide by your contract, and assume full responsibility for the choices you make.
So, we have quite a lot to take in here. We're learning more and more about the premise of this game, what with the Dark Hour, a mysterious them, and the Velvet Room, with this interesting long-nosed gentleman and his bellhop attendant in this, what seems to be a giant elevator going up. Yeah, lots to take in here, but, you know, we don't have to understand it all at once.
That is fine. For now. Hold on to this.
And we got a velvet key. Wonder what we do with this.
Until we meet again.
Before we have too much fun in Reload, let's pop on over to FES and Persona 3 Portable and check out some of the unique aspects of how those scenes play out there.
Do you think he's...
Well, let's wait and see for now. The dark hour is approaching.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Be sure to tune in again next week. KJ out.
Totally.
The preceding program was brought to you by Kirito Electronics, bringing you the future. At the sound of the tone, the time will be 12 o'clock a.m.
He's still sleeping. The dark hour occurs every day at 12 midnight. You could say it's the hidden hour. During this time, an ordinary person transmogrifies into a coffin and is oblivious to all that occurs.
Then he must be...
As you can see, he's retained his human form. He's asleep, but he's definitely experiencing the dark hour. The only question that remains is whether or not he has the potential. Although, he must. If he didn't, they would have preyed on him by now.
Scary.
In any case, we should continue to monitor him for a few more days.
Yes, sir.
I feel kind of bad, though, spying on him like this.
Welcome to the Velvet Room, my dear young man. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. This is Elizabeth. She's a resident here, like myself.
Pleased to meet you.
Now, in Persona 3 Portable, the dialogue in the scene mostly plays out the same, though obviously, as you'd expect, there is no animated cutscene. Instead, we get a more uniquely rendered visual novel scene with with a character portrait actually made specifically for this scene.
This sucks.
Upbeat music is playing from the radio that the man threw away.
Radio presents the Bay Tuners. Tune in again next week for more of the hits.
This program is brought to you by Kirijo Electronics. Kirijo Electronics, always there when you need them. The time is now midnight.
What the? What's happening to me?
Back at a certain room in the dormitory is where the scene reconverges with well, not reconverges, just converges with what we've seen in Reload and FES so far. And for the most part, it just plays out the same, but looking more like a visual novel. However, there is one important scene change in Persona 3 Portable, so let's jump ahead a little bit.
There is still one more resident of this room who unfortunately could not be present for your arrival. But I'll make sure you two are properly introduced. Another time, perhaps. Till we meet again.
So yes, curiously, in Persona 3... Sorry, a little bit of throat gunk there. Curiously, in Persona 3 Portable, the attendant to Igor, Elizabeth, was not present. Strange. I wonder why that is. Well, it's probably no big deal. Anyway, moving on. Feels like I had a strange dream. It's time to go to school. Yo. I am so sleepy today. It's time like these that the best course of action is to sleep during class. Hey, my man, I can relate to that. But that adrenaline rush you get from dozing off right in front of the teacher can really spice up your dreams. Yeah, who am I kidding? Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's real addicting, ain't it? After you build up the courage to do it once, you gotta try it again. Now this is referring to something that we're about to see in action, well, just 5 seconds. And this does something wildly different between Persona 3 Reload and the earlier versions of Persona 3. Let's check out how this plays out in Reload first, though. Then again, since I'm not listening to the lecture, I'm pretty much screwed later. But we have classic literature today. That means we're stuck with Mr. Nasty ol' Lakota. Ahem. I'm Mr. Lakota. I'll be your classic literature teacher. We'll be learning all about good old Japan through some truly great stories. Exciting, isn't it? Now, some people say classic lit isn't relevant anymore, but oh, are they wrong. The students, the other teachers, they don't know what they're talking about. Nobody really understands it like they should. It's the children who are wrong. I'm feeling sleepy. Yeah, I can relate. Should I close my eyes for a few minutes? For the route that I'm going to be taking, or the schedule I'm going to be following, should I say, we're going to take a little snooze cruise here. I can feel the teacher's glare as I start nodding off. It's like my courage is being tested. And boom, we get a point of courage. However, if we decide to actually listen to what Mr. Lakota was saying, we would instead gain 2 points of academics. I should say we got 2 points of courage, and if we chose to listen, we would get 2 points of academics instead. Now, in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable, on the other hand, Now, in Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable, Junpei will have something slightly different to say about sleeping during a lecture. What's up? Man, today is the perfect day. The sky is blue, we're young, what more could we ask for? Oh man, Junpei, take a chill pill, man. Dude, I'm not sick. Forget the old Junpei. This is the real me. You should cheer up too. After all, you got me for a friend. And yeah, he doesn't have anything to say about that, actually. Pretty funny, actually. Pretty funny. But in the early morning, we still have our lecture to attend. So, sitting in on Mr. Akoda's class. Also, Mr. Akoda does not have a portrait in this game. The portraits were not added for the incidental teachers until Persona 3 Portable, where obviously if they didn't have portraits, you wouldn't have any frame of reference for what they looked like. I'll be teaching you about good old Japan all year. Some people say classic lit isn't relevant to everyday life, but oh, how they're wrong. And yes, the script here is pretty similar to how it is in Reload. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Nobody really understands classic lit. And you feel tired. Now, if you choose to rest here, something different will happen. Instead of gaining a point of courage, your condition will change from good to great. What exactly does that mean? Well, that's not something that we're actually going to be doing at this moment because it's fairly irrelevant, and we really want to get the point of academics right now, and also it's just really tedious to have to go back and replay a couple minutes just to retake this choice, so I'm just going to stay awake here and listen to his lecture. Hey, are you all listening to me? Wake up, children. Now open up your textbooks. First on our syllabus is Issei Monogatari, the origin of Japanese literature. It's a very interesting story. You youngsters might call it da bomb. I can tell you people are zoning out. And we stayed up and listened to the lecture. Your academics has increased. That is 2 points of academics right there. Academics requires a whopping 230 points to max out, so we've got 114 more of those types of bonuses to get before we can say we are a genius level intellect. Gonna be a while, gonna be a while. Now, in Persona 3 Portable, you get a slightly modified version of the scene where Junpei instead actually tells you the benefit of sleeping in class. Namely, that regardless of what your condition is when you do sleep in class, you will be the great condition after you rest, allowing you to quickly cure yourself of sickness, should you start the day that way. I'll back it up and show what the lecture would be like in this version of the game later on. And, once again, we make it through another school day.
What's up? How's it going? Want to stop somewhere on the way home? I don't know. Maybe grab a bite to eat? That's right. You're new around here. No worries. I'll show you. It's just around the corner from here. Let's go. This is Polonium Mall. Whenever I hang out with the guys from school, we end up coming here. There's a karaoke box, an arcade. Oh yeah, you can rent out CDs too. Then there's that club over there. Not that I've ever gone in myself. This place may not look like much, but I'm not complaining. Let's check out the CDs first. Oh, whoa, that's new. I gotta try this. Let me show you my mad crane game skills. Ah, damn it! Oh, come on, man. I am not leaving empty-handed. Dude, I'm gonna look from the side. Yeah, that's it! Yo! One more try. Just one more.
I hung out with Junpei for a while before heading back to the dorm. It's worth noting here that the scene with Junpei in Persona 3 FES isn't quite as involved, or shall we say intimate, as it is in Reload. The situation is bustling with students on their way home. One change to note on in Persona 3 Portable is that you actually meet up with Yukari at the end of 4-9, and return to the dorm with her if you're playing the female story.
Have you come here before? A lot of Gekukan students come here after school. There's a karaoke box and a CD shop. Oh, and a really great cafe, too. There's also a nightclub, but that's kinda not for us yet.
The Paulownia Mall is crowded with students on their way back from school.
Welcome back.
You're pretty late. I don't mean to be overbearing, but please don't make this a regular occurrence. I was just having a good time, okay, Mitsuru? Well, in any case, you look quite tired. Why don't you go to bed early tonight? Okay, Mom. Yeesh. LB will display a map of your current location and shortcuts that will allow you to fast travel. Here we get the formal introduction of fast travel in Persona 3 Reload. When it's displayed, you can open the town map directly from the shortcut selection screen. Some shortcut destinations, or even the shortcut function itself, may be unavailable in certain situations. Right now, we can only go to our room and the various hallways. Before we do that, though, we got some new dialogue for Yukari and Mitsuru. I guess there was a dorm mother here once who cooked and stuff, but it's just us students now. Maybe that's why we have such a nice kitchen. Seems like a waste not to use it. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't know what I'd really be able to make good use of it, though. I'd really be able to make good use of it. Man, my reading is all over the place today. And Kirijo-senpai doesn't do stuff like cooking, but I would feel kind of bad if no one ever used it. Wonder if that'll become relevant later. I must say, the moon looks quite stunning in this hazy spring night. Though tempting as it may be to spend a night such as this gazing at the sky, I suggest you head to bed early and get some rest. Don't worry, there will be more full moons. You know, that is an interesting element of the UI there. I noticed that the moon was just getting fuller and fuller until, you know, what do you know, we're actually on the night of a full moon. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. The kitchen looks spacious and practical, but seems as though we can't use it yet. Unfortunate. I should probably go use the front door instead to go outside. Not that we can go outside. Figured it would be a nice opportunity to explore the dorm a little bit before we go back to bed. One thing of note over here is that we have some vending machines. They have a variety of drinks. Maybe I'll buy some next time. This isn't just flavor text. We will, in fact, be able to buy drinks from there later. There are a lot of complex-looking technical books lined up. Nothing to do with that bookshelf. I guess that's just more set dressing at the moment. Here on the 3rd floor is where all the girls' dorms are located, as well as your dorm if you're playing as a female protagonist in Persona 3 Portable. Up here, we can make our way to the roof, but looks like there's a notice on the door. Do not open. If open, close it. Okay, I don't want us to have too much fun adventuring. What's this room over here? Door is tightly sealed. What's in here? At least they have an adequate amount of bathrooms. There's another set of them right on the 4th floor. Makes it a little bit more convenient for the ladies to get there at night. But that's neither here nor there. With all that checked out, you know what? I am feeling a little sleepy, a little tired, a little tuckered out, so I think it's time to hop into bed. I feel exhausted. Maybe it's because I haven't gotten used to living here. Just who was that old man from the dream I had last night? And what was that contract all about?
How is he?
Looks like he's a little worn out. He went to bed without changing out of his uniform. Other than that, nothing has changed since last night.
Very interesting. Even those who have the potential tend to be unstable at first. Memory loss, disorientation. This subject is rather unique. He hasn't exhibited any of the common symptoms.
But we're treating him like a guinea pig.
Oh, Oh, don't look at it like that. The two of you are classmates, right? Consider it an opportunity to have someone your own age here. Besides, we need all the help we can get.
I guess that's true, but still.
Command room speaking. Akihiko, what's wrong?
You're not gonna believe it. This thing is huge. Unfortunately, it's chasing after me right now. I'm almost back. Just letting you know in advance.
Does that mean he's bringing that thing here?
Mr. Chairman, that's enough observation for now. We need to prepare for combat.
Right. Be careful.
Akihiko!
I'm all right. Get ready to be surprised. It'll be here any second.
This is no time to joke around.
Is it one of them, Sanada-kun?
Yeah, but not an ordinary one.
What was that? You've got to be kidding me!
Mr. Chairman, please head for the command room. Takeba, go upstairs and wake him up, then escape out the back.
But what about you two?
We'll stop it here. You're the one who led it to us, Akihiko, so I'm going to have you fight.
It's not like I asked it to follow me. What are you waiting for, Takeba? Go!
Okay.
A loud noise woke me up. I should check what's happening outside.
There's no time to explain. We have to get out of here now.
Okay.
Hurry! To the first floor! We'll leave through the back. Oh, wait! Take this just in case.
Apparently, just in her rear end, Yukari had a short sword up there, so now we have a weapon to defend ourselves with, at least. Very minor change here in Persona 3 Portable. Well, not necessarily minor, but minor within the context of the scene. Yukari handed you a long, thin implement. It seems to be a naginata. The female protagonist, instead of using one-handed swords, gets naginatas as her main form of weaponry. Though this is not the only difference regarding weaponry between the three versions of the game, which is something we'll be getting into probably within a couple videos. Just note that the female protagonist has a different primary weapon, and this does actually have a very distinct mechanical benefit for the female protagonist way later in the game that I'll definitely highlight when it comes up.
Okay, let's go. Alright, we should be safe now.
Takeba, do you read me?
Yes, I hear you!
Be careful. There appears to be more than one enemy. The primary one's lurking somewhere nearby.
What? Let's pull back! What are we gonna do? It's at the front door! Should we go upstairs for now? Let's go!
We have to get to safety. And at this point, we only have one place we can go. Up the stairs. Alright, let's get away upstairs. Alright, let's hurry. Not like there's any reason to stick around on the lower floors.
It's getting closer! I need to calm down. It's gonna be okay. Getting to safety is our priority now.
I would say you could shoot it. No, I wasn't trying to go out the window, Yukari. Sorry, that actually caught me off guard. I didn't know she would say that, but it's not like you could. I would say you could shoot it, but you did admit that gun was just a fake.
Sorry.
It's fine, it's fine. Sorry, I know this is sudden and you were sleeping, but I promise I'll explain later.
What was that? Don't tell me it got inside! It's getting closer! Keep moving! Hurry! If we go out through here, then... I've locked the door, so we should be safe for now. Huh? No way! That's it! One of the monsters that attacked us! It's a shadow!
It's here.
Wait.
Go on.
I am thou. Thou art I. From the sea of thy soul I come. I am Orpheus, master of strings.
Just as we thought.
Earth was that?
Is it over? No! No! Get away from me!
I need to protect her. No time to rest, as we are immediately thrust into our first battle, and it is also an incredibly easy tutorial battle.
Did they break off from that other one?
So, we have a multitude of options here. We could press the B button to guard, the A button to attack, or we can use the gun to call upon the power of our persona. Orpheus, the Master of Strings, has one skill available to him, the Augie spell. This does fire-based damage, and conveniently, these guys happen to be weak to it. When they take fire damage, we get a free turn. So, let's just knock both of these guys down, and then we can finish one of them off with a single weak attack. When the enemies are knocked down, we cannot get an additional turn off of them by hitting them with another fire spell, though we do have a chance to stun them when doing that. Since we're in basically anything we could do to this guy here would finish him off, let's just use a nice little weak strike, hit him with a multitude of physical hits, and there we go. We have won our first battle. The monsters are gone.
Are you okay? Oh, come on! Can you hear me? Oh, say something!
It's so good to see you again.
Immediately following that scene, we find ourselves face to face with Igor again. Now, I would let him continue on, but honestly, I think the Awakening scene in Persona 3 Reload is pretty good. But I actually want to cut back to Persona 3 FES right now and check out the Awakening there, because I'm gonna be honest with you, the Awakening scene in Persona 3 FES, probably one of my favorite scenes in the Persona series, period.
I think we're okay for now. Huh? What? Those monsters. We call them shadows.
Go on.
There! Wait!
Persona.
Thou art I, and I am thou. From the sea of thy soul I cometh. I am Orpheus, master of strings.
As we suspected.
earth is that?
The sudden swell of power has subsided. Orpheus regained its original form. You have obtained a new persona.
Is it over?
And once again, we are thrust into battle. This time by our lonesome, no interjection from Yukari, but hell yeah, that was awesome. I live for that kind of scene in these old PS2, GameCube era RPGs. Just wonderful, just wonderful. Anyways, there are some brief differences we can go over with combat in this version of the game. As you can see, instead of every action being mapped to a specific button, we've got a standardized list, although it's represented like a rotary wheel, or perhaps like the chambers of a revolver, which is a pretty nice touch, I honestly think. We got a bunch of options here that we really can't go over. One weird one to bring up, though, is wait. End turn without doing anything. We'll go over this one in more detail later, but this is a command that is exclusive to Persona 3 in the context of the newer Persona games, though it's not exactly new to the series. Now, going over one major difference here, instead of having access to Agi, Orpheus only has access to Bash, which is just a strike-based attack that these things are not weak to. However, in this fight specifically, its damage is boosted to deal about 60, so it one-shots these things, funnily making it stronger in the context of this game than Agi. One other difference about this fight compared to Persona 3 Reload is that we actually get some experience for doing it in this version of the game, bringing us to player level 2. Additionally, you're now able to create personas of level 2, which is something that will be coming up later. Orpheus also secures a level, and this is what allows him to get Agi to use in any succeeding fights. You'll notice that he takes quite a bit more experience to level up than we ourselves do, so that's something that is to be kept in mind with our persona. He's not going to be powering up quite as quickly as we are. I wonder if there's a thematic relevance to that, or if that's just a game balancing thing. Anyway, with that taken care of in Persona 3 FES, we are now going to witness the greatest victim of presentation in the PSP version, watching the Awakening in Persona 3 Portable. Now, when comparing the Awakening in Persona 3 Portable to the other versions we've seen, well, you'll see.
The door's locked. I think we're safe for now. Huh? You gotta be kidding me! It climbed up the wall?
There. They're on the roof.
That gigantic shadow. Just what is it we're dealing with?
Let's go, Mitsuru. Wait.
That's the thing that attacked this place. We call them shadows. Oh yeah, I have to fight. I can summon mine. No problem. Here goes.
What was that?
The sudden swell of power has subsided. Orpheus regained its original form, and you may notice that Orpheus has some subtle design differences when you're playing as a female character with longer hair and a more distinctly heart-shaped lyre. You have obtained a new persona.
Is it over? It's still moving.
A piece of the shadow is heading for Yukari.
No! Get away from me!
You must save her! And at this point, we are thrust into battle, and yeah, this is probably one of the more pronounced sections where the presentation really falters in Persona 3 Portable. It just looks kinda cruddy. Anyway, coming into battle, a couple of distinct changes here. We still have the revolver-style menu wheel, and honestly, they've upped the gun imagery, like the distinctive gun cylinder look to it. And there is one notable change here. The wait command has been subbed out with a defense command. We'll get into some of the deeper mechanical changes between Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable when they become a bit more relevant. Right now, though, this fight is pretty much identical to how it is in Persona 3 FES. Orpheus still doesn't have Agi, they have access to Bash now. But again, the damage is artificially inflated so that it'll finish the enemy off. You'll note that even though we're on a higher difficulty, supposedly, the enemy hits just as hard in Persona 3 Portable Maniac mode as they do in Persona 3 FES's hard mode, so there really isn't that much of a difficulty increase in that regard, though there are aspects of this version's gameplay that do make certain sections a little bit more difficult. You also note that we get distinctly more experience in this encounter, getting 48. This is enough to put Zoe at level 3 instead of level 2, giving her some additional power to work with going forward, which will help out quite a bit when we actually get to put our experience levels to work. This isn't enough experience to give Orpheus an additional level up, but the keen-eyed of you probably already have noticed a difference with the level up screen here. Orpheus has a new level up section called Skill Card. What's that about? Well, we'll see that. Or rather, we'll discuss it, again, when it becomes more important. But yeah, this is definitely my least favorite version of the Awakening scene. Particularly, the mysterious boy wasn't represented in the scene at all, so it does genuinely look like your character just randomly decided to shoot themselves. I get it, they say Persona, so probably deep down, like, they kind of clicked on them what was going on, but I don't know, it just doesn't come off as cleanly as it does in the other versions of the game. Quite the shame that they could not keep up the momentum with Persona 3 Portable when it came to that scene, but that was just one of many concessions that version of the game had to make. With that all done, let's carry on and listen to Igor once more.
You lost consciousness after awakening to your power. Ooh, I see that it was Orpheus who heeded your call. Very interesting. That was the power of Persona. The manifestation of your psyche. A persona is a facet of your personality that surfaces as you react to external stimuli. You can think of it as a mask that protects you as you brave many hardships. The power of a persona is the power of one's soul. And the soul is fueled by the depth of one's bonds. As you form these bonds by becoming involved with others, your own social links will gradually develop. The strength of these social links will foster the growth of your persona abilities. Please remember this. Now then, time marches on in your world. I shouldn't keep you here any longer. Next time we meet, you will come here of your own accord. Until then, farewell.
And with that, we find that the scene took a lot out of us, because now it's the 17th. For some reason in Portable, you get pushed to the 19th here instead of the 17th. My head is getting clearer. I can feel someone's presence beside me.
You're awake! How do you feel?
Well, like I got run over by a truck, but I'm okay enough, I guess. Where exactly are we, though?
Thank goodness, you finally woke up! Oh, this is Tatsumi Memorial Hospital. It's just a short walk from the station. The doctor couldn't find anything wrong. He said you were just exhausted. Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't helpful at all back there. But wow, that power of yours was really something.
What exactly did we fight, though? And, I mean, I got a slight explanation from Igor, but I feel like telling you that would make me sound crazy, so, yeah, just give us the skinny, Yukari.
You mean the shadows? They're what we're fighting against. And that power you used, we call it persona. Don't worry, we'll explain everything later. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before. I wanted to tell you something. I can kinda relate. To you, I mean.
What do you mean?
My dad died in an accident when I was little, and my mom and I aren't exactly on good terms. You're all alone too, aren't you? To be honest, I already heard about your past, but it didn't seem fair, so I wanted you to know about mine too. This was a while ago, but there was a big explosion in the area. Supposedly, my dad died in the blast, but nobody really knows what happened. At the time, he was working in a lab run by the Kirijo group, so I'm hoping if I stick around long enough, I'll find out more about it. That's why I'm going to Gekukan High. And why I was there when this happened to you. Not that I was much help. I kinda panicked. That was my first time facing them too. Sorry. You wouldn't have to go through all this if I weren't such a coward.
Oh, come on. It was a pretty tense situation for the both of us.
Really? But still, sorry for telling you all this the minute you opened your eyes. While I was waiting, I thought to myself, I've been hiding so many things from him. As soon as he wakes up, I'll tell him the truth.
While I was waiting, I thought to myself, I've been hiding so many things from him. As soon as he wakes up, I'll tell him the truth.
One little screw up here in the Persona 3 Portable is that Yukari still refers to you as a he in this scene, even if you're playing as the female character.
So thanks for listening. I've been wanting to share that story with someone for a long time. Alright, I'm gonna get going. I'll let the others know you're okay. They said you could leave once you regain consciousness, so I think you're free to go home. See you!
Cutting back to FES at this point, because we don't actually get to go back to the dorm at this particular moment in FES. Instead, we are taken to Saturday the 18th immediately, and get a cutscene with Yukari. Morning, you seem to be doing pretty well. Yeah, I'd say I'm alright. That's good. Hey, sorry to hit you with this first thing in the morning, but Akutsuki-san wants to talk to you today. Come to the 4th floor of the dorm after school, okay? Don't forget. We'll be seeing this cutscene eventually in Reload as well, but you are forced into watching it now in Persona 3 or FES, without even a chance to save your game. We also have a class segment to go through here. So, let's just get our introduction, or reintroduction rather, to Mr. Ono. That's enough about mammoths. What's the big deal? They're just huge elephants. That wraps it up for the Stone Age. I'm tired of lessons about stones. I'd rather talk about the Sengoku era. Japanese history's not that exciting until then. Though I'm paid to do this, so I've gotta. It's tough being an adult. Next is the Jomon period. When do the samurai get their day in the sun? I'll just ask a question at random and call it a day. Hey, Junpei. What was the style of houses in the Jomon period called? How am I supposed to know about something way back then? Quick, Cullen, what the heck is he talking about? This is the question that we do not get an answer from the dialogue, and instead we have to actually know this answer offhand, or, more pertinently, have played the game before or have a guide available. In this case, the answer he's looking for is mud huts. I do like Mr. Ono's obsession with the samurai. He goes so hard for wearing that helmet all the time. That's correct. Mud huts were built by digging a hole in the ground and supporting the roof. It's no use. I can't get interested. I want to get to the age of katanas. Everything else is so dull. Hey, I answered right and don't get any credit. Oh well. Thanks, Cullen. You hear classmates whispering. Cullen told Junpei the answer. He's really smart. You became slightly more popular. And our charm has increased accordingly. Very nice, very nice. But after that, we are just dumped off in the dorm, and we need to meet up with Ikutsuki and the rest on the fourth floor, because it seems you'll be discussing something important at the dorms today. You decided to go home early. Here is our first opportunity to get a preview of the mall in Persona 3 FES, and we see some interesting NPCs in the background. The shopping mall is filled with people coming and going. There is no one in the lounge. You were told to go to the fourth floor. At this point, we reconnect with Persona 3 Reload.
Oh, and you don't have to be formal around me or anything. Us second-year girls gotta stick up for each other after all. Bye.
Now, in Persona 3 Portable, we end up going to school on the 20th, and we actually bump into Junpei. Yo, long time no see. What's up? Did you have an upset stomach or something? Anyways, I got something to tell you. What is it? Actually... Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say anything. Sorry, man. Sheesh, someone's full of energy today. I could hear you from all the way over there. Hey, it's Yuka-tan. You two live at the same dorm yet came separately today? Is it because you'll cause too many rumors again? What? It's just left a little late. Anyways, I need to talk to her. Bye-bye, Junpei. What? Are you feeling better? Zoe, I'm sorry to hit you with this first thing in the morning, but Ikutsuki-san wants to talk to you today. Come to the fourth floor of the dorm after school, okay? Don't forget. And at this point, we get Mr. Ono's question, which is the same question as it is in Persona 3 FES. I gotta say, I'm so relieved that you're out of the hospital. Yeah, well, I'm stiff as a board, laying on my back for 9 days. Or, yeah, 8 days, 8 days. Sorry, we weren't that out cold. Don't push yourself, though. Do you want to get some rest? Don't worry, your room's safe now. I mean, we've been sleeping for 8 days, but I guess we could rest. What do you gotta say, though, Yukari? Kirija-senpai said she'll be late today. I guess she's processing some paperwork for you. Hey, try not to overdo it at school tomorrow. I'll try my best, but I think that's as good a spot as any to end the video. Quite a lot happened there, and things are starting to look up. But I feel like we could use a little bit more of an explanation for what's going on, don't you? Regardless, that's where we're going to have to end this video, and when we come back, well, we're just going to have to see if we can get to the truth of the situation, and then, from there, decide exactly how we want to, if we want to involve ourselves in it or not. Until next time, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, are you even listening to me? Let's wake up, shall we, children? Now open your textbooks. First on our syllabus is Issei Monogatari, the origin of Japanese literature. It's a very interesting story. You youngsters might even call it da bomb. I can tell you people are zoning out on me. I forced myself to stay awake and listen to the lecture.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.